I'm Kahn-Feiring, and along with my students at the Romantic Relationships Research Lab, as well as Chuck Cleland at NYU, our poster concerns how emerging adults make meaning out of conflict events using a narrative approach, and how such meaning making is related to the use of conflict strategies. So give me a minute and I'll share my screen with you and I'll walk you through the basics of what we did and what we found. And feel free to email me if you have questions or if you want a copy of the poster. So let me share the screen. There we go. So basically, what we were interested in how emotion-related meaning making might inhibit or promote healthy conflict strategies. We had two goals in mind. The first was to look at negative emotion, in particular anger and sadness, and whether using those emotions to make meaning out of conflict events, in particular unmet needs, was related to the use of aggressive as well as positive problem-solving strategies. Our second goal was to understand meaning making around emotion-related processes, in particular breakup anxiety, and that's making meaning out of conflict events in which you perceive that the events might constitute a threat to the relationship, as well as perspective taking, which concerns being able to take the perspective of your partner as well as your own perspective when making meaning out of conflict events. We had predictions, and because we were studying couples, we had predictions for both actors and partners. So for actors, we expected that couple members' negative emotions, as well as their ratings of negative emotions, and pitch, which is a measure of emotional arousal, as well as breakup anxiety, would be related to the speaker's own report of their negative or destructive conflict strategies and reports of less positive ones. We expected that perspective taking would be associated with more positive strategies and less negative ones. And in terms of partner effects, we expected basically the same kinds of associations. So moving on to our methods, we had 123 heterosexual couples. They were on average around 19 years of age and together for a little more than 15 months. We had narrative-based measures, as I mentioned initially. We looked at angry and sad words used in the narratives. We were able to gather pitch of voice through the recordings, and we also coded breakup anxiety and empathetic perspective taking reliably through using the semi-structured interview in which we asked each couple member separately to talk about times when their partners didn't meet their needs. We also had angry and sad emotion ratings, as well as self-reports of aggression, withdrawal, and problem solving. So what did we find? First of all, in terms of mean differences, to show that, in fact, the couples were distinguishable by gender. Women were more emotionally reactive than their male partners. In particular, women were higher in angry and sad ratings. They were higher in pitch, negative emotional arousal, breakup anxiety, and also reported that they used more verbal aggression, more withdrawal, and also more positive problem solving. Now, the more interesting results had to do with the associations between these emotion-related processes and strategies. For that, we conducted actor-partner independence models, and what we found was that there were, as expected, there was an actor effect for anger, more report of self. Anger was related to more destructive strategy use. That was also true for breakup anxiety, and perspective taking was related to less destructive strategy use. Now, it was interesting that for breakup anxiety, it was really the partner that made a difference more than the self. In terms of positive problem solving, we found that actor pitch, instead of being negative, was actually related to more positive problem solving, and as expected, perspective taking was related to more positive problem solving, whereas partner breakup anxiety was related to less problem solving. So from the results, which in the poster you'll see are more detailed, some of the takeaways is that emotion regulation processes do occur during narratives about unmet needs, and they are related to strategy use. So most of the literature focuses on observations of couples or using couple ratings, and we believe that this adds to the literature by showing that there is emotion regulation that goes on when people recollect past conflict events, and that relates to how they report their behaving towards their partner. We've done some new analyses, if you want to be in touch around those, that are more sophisticated, and we are showing from those that there are actually both actor and partner effects related to the meaning-making processes and aggressive behavior in particular. We believe that how couple members make meaning of conflict events is related to their behavior, and that because many treatment processes for couples or education kinds of programs use storytelling around events that are problematic, we believe by using narratives, this is a great window into understanding how people make meaning out of these conflict events and how it's related to conflict, and that if you can change these meaning-making processes, that is a pathway to changing how people behave towards each other in terms of strategies, and perhaps could increase intimacy instead of intensifying conflict. Thank you for your attention.